Strap in, feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 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 it's different.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Hello again. I am Gary Gatto. Welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of the final round, Championship Sunday, round 9 of season 9 of the longest continuously running DW12 series on iRacing today. It is the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you tonight from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 9th running of the Dark Horse Indianapolis 300. It's just me in the booth today. And we have ourselves a 4-car, but as soon as the white flag or the green flag drops, it will become a 3-car battle. We will explain that. But a 4-car battle right now for the championship. And here are the points once the intro is done loading here. Give you an idea. There you go. We are getting ready to grid up here. Mark Murphy with the lead. Kirk Jabauer in second. Matt Wagner in third. Now, you can score exactly if you maximize every single point here in Dark Horse. 57 points in a round. And it so happens that Christopher is exactly 57 points behind. And I may have over-embellished his chances. He needed a miracle at his last interview in the last race. Well, unfortunately, the miracle really was if Mark Murphy was going to show up or not, and we knew he was. And he qualified. So as soon as Mark takes the green flag, unfortunately, Christopher will be eliminated from the points battle. But let me get into what we got going tonight. For Murphy, the magic finishing position really is second. If he finishes first or second, he's a champion. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Third can still do it, but he needs bonus points. It doesn't look like he has any bonus points right now. Fourth or worse opens the door for Indy. For Indy Kirk Jabauer, the cleanest path is to win the race and have Murphy finish third or worse. If Indy finishes second, well, Murph likely needs to fall about sixth or worse. If Indy is third, Murphy probably needs to be ninth or worse. This is all scenarios for Kirk Jabauer to win. Now, Matty Wags, he has to win Indianapolis. He needs to have trouble for both Murph and Indy. And even if with a perfect night, he still needs Murph to be buried around 20th or less. Well, we don't have that many cars here. And Indy needs to be outside the top 5. And of course, Christopher is mathematically alive only until Murphy starts. And once the green flag flies, Murphy is officially scored. Stouffer is eliminated. So to summarize, Murph controls the championship. If he finishes first or second, he is the Dark Horse DW12 Series IndyCar Championship for the second consecutive season, joining Nick DeGroot and Craig Forsyth as 2-time champions. Third can still do it with bonus points, but fourth or worse opens the door. Kirk Jabauer, of course, is going to be the main threat all race long. His cleanest path is to win the race, have Murph finish third or worse. Wags has the win and needs Murph buried deep in the field, which doesn't look like it's going to happen since we have a small field tonight. And of course, Christopher, of course, will be out the second we take the green flag. There you see the point situation. There you see the weather situation. Very comfortable here. Indiana weather at the Brickyard. Let's get into tonight's starting lineup. on the pole, doing what he needs to do to get bonus points, is Matty Wags. On the outside is Gimme Miguel, looking for his second win of the season. Then we got Lovren and Peterson in row 2. Murph looking for that second straight podium championship, actually. He wants more than the podium today. He wants to win and get the championship, and he will join Forsyth as a 2-time champion. Right next to him on row 3, Lilac Zier. And Kenny the Jet Smith on row 4. Actually, that's Hunter Smith. Excuse me, we got two Smiths in this race. So Hunter Smith joining us from the Elite Racing League. Then we got Kenny the Jet Smith in the 03, Charles Teed in the 05. Dinsdale, and there's Indy Kirchenbauer, Heisong and Stouffer, Papa Kirchenbauer, Primetime John Stellar, Jomo, and Say Hey, Lewis Hayes. And getting ready to go green for the final time this season for season 9 of the Dark Horse DW12 Series. Green flag is out here at Indianapolis. Season 9 finale underway, and Murph goes to the inside into turn 1, but it's going to be Wags leading the field into turn 1 as well as they exit turn 1, leave turn 1. It is Wags, Miguel, then Peterson, Murph, and Forsyth, all 3 wide through the corners of the short chute. Down the backstretch, giving Miguel on the inside. He gets the bead on Matty Wags. Wags is going to fall back another position. Looks like Murph is going to try to follow Miguel up to the points. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do to move up quickly. Oh, and he slides in front of Murph, or slides in front of Wags. Here comes Lilac Zier to the inside. Murph to the inside now, down the main straightaway at the line into 1. Murph goes to the point, looking for that second series championship. 18 cars started the race tonight. A small field, but not big enough. And unfortunately, that may eliminate Wags already. We'll see what he can get out of this in terms of maximum bonus points. He fades to 4th. Miguel back to the point. Zier in 3rd. Peterson in 5th. Teed, his co-admin here in the lead against 6th. Forsyth in 7th. Hunter Smith, former winner here in the Elite Racing League Indy 500. He is in 8th. Kirchenbauer in 9th. And Kenny the Jet Smith in 10th. Already 2 wide through the short chute on the south end of the racetrack. Forsyth working to the inside. Forsyth, a former winner here in the Dark Horse Racing Series. He won the inaugural Indy race here back in season 1. Or actually, it would have been season 2. Is this the 9th running? Matty Wags has a win here. He won in season 3. Murph won here in round 4 of the 2004 Summer Series. Our defending winner from a season ago, Chris Albrecht, not in the lineup tonight. But his car is. I believe he took the same paint job that Stellard's running there in the DHL Dallara to victory lane here about a season ago. Zier now and the Janet Guthrie livery to the points. And it's just me in the booth tonight, so if there's long moments of silence, it is because I'm doing many things that I normally do, and I transfer my commentary over to my co-commentator, and I don't have anyone tonight here. So it is me solo as Indy Kirchenbauer now up 8 spots, wasting no time now to get to his championship rival to the outside, and he gets to the attenuator of Murph, but he can't go anywhere. Eric Peterson to the inside. He's looking for at least second going into 1. Peterson looking to back up his win earlier in the year, in the season, a season ago at Iowa. Almost contact, got tight there through the short chute. 80% fuel in these cars, unlimited tires. We expect anywhere between a 3 and a 4-stop strategy, probably closer to a 4-stop. Coming lap 24, 48, 72, 96, and 120 to get home. You watch this pack in the middle here. The battle is really wheel to wheel, nose to tail right now. Joseph Morales, the only car that seemed to have dropped off the draft, and that might not be a bad three. Going 3 wide, Hunter Smith up high. Oh, Miguel. Indy Kirchenbauer now to the point. Now, to give you some idea of the bonus point situation, I will update you on that. Kirchenbauer to the point. Charlie Teed in second. Zier back to third. Forsyth up to fourth. Murph in fifth. Peterson fades to sixth. Stouffer in seventh. Stouffer is now officially eliminated from the championship. Best he can do is finish fourth. Don't think he can get to third. Hunter Smith right behind Guillermo Miguel in that Target livery. So leading the most laps will get you 1 point. Leading at least one lap will get you 1 point. Having a 0x incident-free race, which is, you know, with a race that offers a fast repair, there is incentive right there to not use your fast repair. We see Kenny the Jet Smith taking an aggressive move down the backstretch. 2 points for a 0x incident-free race and the fastest lap. You get 1 point. Currently the fastest lap holder right now. John Stellard. There is John Stellard right in the back there. Lap 10 of 120. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for the finale of Season 9 of the Dark Horse Racing Series. They're DW12s here at Indianapolis. And yes, there will be a Season 10. And yes, it'll be about a month from now. It'll be kicking off. And yes, we know at least the opener. It will be at Kansas. We'll talk more about that when we get further into this race. With the rule set for the night. No fast repair, or actually one fast repair, excuse me. Unlimited tires, 80% fuel, 60-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit. Green, white checkers, no, because this is IndyCar. We don't do that. Wave around rule is in effect. Lucky dogs are enabled, I believe. Which is one of the NASCAR rules I don't mind at all. Last time we were here, I mentioned Chris Albrecht won. Mark Murphy back won in the summer season of 2024. Season 7 was Eric Schaus. Rick Ravon's a two-time winner here, Season 5 and 6. Nick DeGroots won in Season 4. Matty Wags back in Season 3. Craig Forsyth back in Season 2. They did not keep records for Season 1. But since they raced an extra season in 2024, that's Season 7. Starting 2024, they had Season 7, and then they also had the 2024 summer season, which included a race here. That's why we get the extra number. If you're doing the math in your head, like, oh, that doesn't sound right. Okay, that's why it sounds right now. So now you know. And as they say in the PSAs, knowing is half the battle. At lap 13, Kirchenbauer, Teed, Zier, Forsyth, Murphy. Murph looking for his second straight series championship here in the Dark Horse Racing Series. And if he gets that today, he'll become a two-time champion along with Nick DeGroot and Craig Forsyth. Nick DeGroot won Season 2 and Season 5. Mark Murphy won Season 8 and 9, is looking to win Season 8 and 9. And Craig Forsyth won Season 6 and the 2024 summer season. That doesn't officially have a season number. It is called Summer 2024. Everyone minding their P's and Q's at the moment. It's Kirchenbauer to the point. He's now led a lap, looking to lead the most laps. That would get him another point. He did not qualify on the pole. That belongs to Wags. He got a point out of that. Two points for the pole. 1 point leading for most laps, 1 point leading at least one lap. 2 points for an incident-free race, and 1 point for the fastest lap. And everybody together, pretty much the entire top 17 all together here on the racetrack. More than halfway through this first stint. Caution-free, knock it on wood. We've had a good run here on P1 of races at Indianapolis. Very few cautions. Of course, highlighted by the caution-free iRacing Indy Open 500 back in May. The fastest, I believe I've been told by people that it's the fastest Indy Open 500 ever. So they would like to do that again in Dark Horse here, make their fastest Indy race ever here. Everyone kind of minding their P's and Q's, as I mentioned, all staying in line, trying to work their way to this first pit stop. And then when we get to this pit stop, you're going to start seeing the field start to stretch out a little bit. And does anyone attempt to do an undercut here on the first round of pit stops? We're about 7 laps away from the early window opening. Thank our good friends at 4D Racewear for being sponsors of the presenting sponsor of not just our coverage of the IIS, but also here on the Dark Horse Racing Series and their DW12s and their DW12 Championship. And there we see one of their sponsored cars right there, Christopher, trying to join his teammates. 3 wide in the back, a little bit further on back. Now they tuck back in line. Gary Lovern, who's had himself not an easy race so far. He started up front, has now fallen 9 positions, now 8 positions, back to 11th. But again, everyone right together. No reason to panic yet. He's with a teammate. He's part of that votive racing team. Stellar to the inside of Jeff Hysong. He gets a position. Started off this season way back in January with Murph winning at Auto Club to hit the fence of his campaign. Charlie Teed now is your leader. Missed him taking the lead, but we'll give Charlie Teed one of the admins here. Been a while since we've seen him running the points. Good to see him back in the P1 position. Andy Kirchenbauer won at Charlotte, the first time ever at Charlotte here in the Dark Horse Racing Series. Round 3 went to Matty Wags, so first of 2 in a row for Matty Wags. At Iowa and Michigan, Gary Miguel won his first ever race in this. Oh, car in the wall, big time off the corner. That was Gary Lovern, and we are under caution. Hard hit for Gary Lovern off of turn 1. See what happened here as he has Kenny the Jet Smith to his inside. And did he just get dirty air? Did he miss the apex? Did he just get into the back? Yes, a little bit of contact with Kenny the Jet Smith, and it picks up prime time John Stellard as everyone scurries to miss, and they do. But this is going to start the procedure to come to pit road, more than likely, as we are under caution here at lap 22. As Lovern's going to try to get to pit road and execute. It's a hard time to steer at that car. He'll execute the fast repair if he can make it. Let's hop in the... And he's got the pointed straight. I don't think the car is fully touching the ground on all corners. And he just tows it. Yep. So he was going to try to execute the fast repair. Now he's going to have to entail the tow penalty. Entail, not in tow. Entail the tow penalty, Gary. That's what I get for working the booth alone tonight. And he will actually be able to execute that, but I'll more likely put him a lap down. A little less painful under caution. Coming to pit road right now, it's Teed, Kirchbauer, Zier, Forsyth, Murph, Peterson. Jomo's going to stay out, I think, and lead a lap. This is kind of what he typically does. Yeah, and so he'll get some bonus points. Hey, that's how you do it sometimes. Teed will win the race off pit road, followed by Indy and Craig Forsyth. I like Zier, Mark Murphy. And that's how we will kind of go back to green here once they rejoin the pace car. So right when about the first window opens to get to the finish, or at least on the four-stop strategy, the window opens with the first caution of the race. We've yet to ever do a caution-free race here in the Dark Horse Racing Series. We had 10 cautions for 30 laps last season, 2 for 6 in 2024. And season 7, 7 for 18, 11 for 33 in season 6, 6 for 16. And season 5, 11 for 34 in season 4, 7 for 21 in season 3, and 11 for 32. So if there is one thing for sure, anything can happen in Indianapolis. In the 8 previous runnings in this race, we have seen 429 total lead changes, an average of nearly 54 per race, an average of just 11 cars finishing on the lead lap. 18 cars started the day with the average margin, winning margin, very close, only 70 thousandths of a second. 70 thousandths of a second. That's 0.070. That is the average margin of victory. So all the finishes here tend to be close. 5 of the 8 races have been decided by less than a tenth of a second, and 3 were decided by 22 thousandths of a second or less. And of course, Murph already knows what it feels like. He won the summer 2024 running by winning by just 3 ten-thousandths of a second over Craig Forsyth. And Matty Wags also has won this race before, beating Henry Bennett by 18 ten-thousandths of a second in season 3. Andy Kirchbauer finished 3rd in the most recent running. But like I said, don't go anywhere. Anything can happen. All 3 left in the points championships either have wins here or close podium finishes. We're going ready to go green next time by at coming to lap 25. Previously, this race was at 100 laps, so we'd be almost a quarter of the way through. So season 8 was contested under 100 laps. Every other season after that, though, or before that, was 200 laps. We're at 120 today, as Dark Horse is running on a shorter race schedule, or shorter race distances on their schedule. 120 laps, 300 miles on the menu tonight. Getting ready to go green. Teed, Kirchenbauer, Forsyth, Zier, and Murph. Green flag back out. Here, coming to lap 25 of 120. Well, like I said, there are no official records for Season 1, but I have been told that Charlie Teed was the champion of Season 1. I guess that makes him an unofficial champion. So it's been a bit of a dry spell for Charlie Teed. Continuing our review of the season as we watch this battle between Zier and Peterson, Wags and Stouffer, Murph there as well. Andy Kirchenbauer won at Texas. Christopher won at Pocono. Kirchenbauer won again at Homestead in the last round to get himself within 19 points of the lead. Right now, Murph is keeping it close by keeping Kirchenbauer in view. To the point, Craig Forsyth is your new leader. He would like to get his second win here at the Brickyard. Inside, Charlie Teed on Kirchenbauer, not able to get to the pass, get the pass completed. Top three have an opportunity now to kind of pull away. They've already pulled out a little bit of a gap. Nine-tenths of a second, which is more than enough to break the draft. But if they start racing one another up there, that next group will catch them. Murph taking a 3 wide into turn 3. Murph does not want to wait around. Stay tuned after the race as we go 3 wide for the lead. Craig Forsyth to the inside. We will talk to the podium finishers as well. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It got a little bit squirrely through there. Murph got the purple lap, 226.2, but he had the lift going into 1. That's going to cost him a lot of momentum. Here comes Peterson to the inside. But stick with us after the race. We will interview the podium, as always, and the Season 9 champion, whether that is Wags, Murph, or Indy Kirchenbauer. Don't go anywhere. Teed back to the point. Kirchenbauer way up high. Here comes Forsyth to the inside. Here comes Murphy. Big run ahead of speed. He wants to go to the point, but he's not going to have enough to get there. He tucks back in line, but enough of a draft and a run by Forsyth gets him to the point. Teed back to second now. He's just riding on the bottom in line. Does Kirchenbauer go to the outside? He was thinking about it. Top 8 altogether on the racetrack. And now Murph to the point. And if Murph can get around to the yard of bricks, he'll lead a lap, and that'll be crucial. He might not want to allow him to lead a lap. To the line. Whoa, that was real close. Murph got him. Murph taking a look back to the inside. A lot like Zier now has worked her way up to third. Craig Forsyth in fourth. Indy back to fifth. Peterson in seventh. Matty Wags in eighth. this whole group all together. And now Hunter Smith, Hysong, and the Jet Kenny Smith. So 2 Smiths here. And they are, which is ironic because there's never been a single Smith in the real Indy 500. They're trying to run down the leaders, as well as Papa Kirchenbauer back there. They're in the maroon and yellow, or the maroon and gold car. Right behind him, Gary Miguel. And if they could join that group, they'll be the top 13 altogether. Murph back to the inside on Teed. He gets on by. Hunter Smith in that second group. Purple lap, 226.5, so they are gaining on them. They are right there. They're just out of the shot there. There you see. Top of the screen. Oh, Lilac was thinking about taking it to the point. Murph a little bit of fade there at the end in the middle of the corner to flash a little dirty air. But Lilac, no, you're not going to take the point. Lap 33 of 120. Matty Wags now has been caught by Hunter Smith, and they're trying to work together to run down Peterson in the top 7. You could see how much these rear wings are laid down. Let's run with Hunter Smith here as he goes to the inside. Maybe this is not the best camera shot. There you go. You could actually see the sponsor on the facing you on the camera. P1 on the tailwind, on the rear wing there. That is how much these wings are laid down. Negative downforce. You can see right there. Actually here, Matty Wags lifting a little bit. Let's do the driver input so you can see what he's doing there. He's just riding along now. Now that that first group has been caught, the panic there is not as, there is not as much panic, that's what I'm trying to say, as there was before to catch that group. Say, hey, Lewis Hayes, 228.1. Nice battle between Kenny the Jet Smith and the progenitor, Clay Kirchenbauer, Papa Kirchenbauer. They get back in line. Clay's going to take a bit of a, nope, he's going to back out of it. Let's go back and ride with the progenitor in the 10th position. If the best thing for him to do if he wants to be tail gunner for his boy today. Ooh, inside. Oh, Hunter Smith goes wide. Now we're going to go too wide through the corner. The best thing that Clay could do for his boy is get up there and try to race Murph. Cost Murph a position. Here he comes on the outside of Wags in the draft. He's getting, oh, big, look at the big suck up there at the end of at the beginning of turn 1 at the end of the front straight. Big run. A little bit of a lift. Inside. There's the inside. There's Wags. He's back cleared. Taking a bit of a run. He backs out of it. A lot of these drivers. Oh, big run to the inside. Shane Dinsdale. Hello. Shane Dinsdale's like, hey guys, if you guys are gonna lift, I'm not gonna. And now he's improved himself one position where he started from this day. And the plain white wrapper 087. As we are getting ready to come to the 100-mile mark here at the Brickyard in this 300-mile race. Hunter Smith to the inside, couple positions gained. Teed goes high. Everyone kind of scrambles for position behind. Wags goes super low. Meanwhile, at the point, your 2 points rivals, but here comes Hunter Smith, and he just storms to the front. He had a huge head of steam. He goes from the mid-pack to the lead, pretty much the entire length of the front straight. I think we have some drivers trying to save fuel. Look at him scramble on the backstretch. We are 17 laps into this stint, so the next round of pit stops are only about 8 laps or so away. Remember, 80% fuel in these cars. But they have unlimited tires. And remember, with these cars, tires mean everything. Oh, look at him scramble in the back there. Woo. There are a lot of cars lifting there. Now I think the tires are starting to get well worn in now. T taking a peek to the inside, not going to be there. Here's your weather update. 85 on the track temp. A very comfortable Indiana 70 degrees in the springtime. Very comfortable Indiana springtime weather, yes. That is definitely not summer weather. And not at 2% humidity. Anyone who's from Indiana who's been here in the summer knows. Inside, teed on Craig Forsyth. It's been a while since Forsyth has gotten a win here in this series. He would like to get another win. It's been a long time Teed's gotten a win here. Teed has one win in this series. There have been 24 different winners in the history of the Dark Horse Racing Series. I believe so. Let me double check that. We have a number of first-time winners this season. Yeah, 24. That is confirmed. 24 different winners here in the series. Over the course of 10 seasons, your all-time wins leader here. My one win is Robert Malechka over Rick Ravon with 13, Craig Forsyth with 12. So if Craig wins today, he gets within one more win of Rick and ties him actually for second all-time. Gets closer to Robert Malechka. And again, we've seen Robert Malechka so many times on this channel win literally everything, including Saturday's P1 600 here on the channel. Hard to believe that there's not a single IndyCar category in every league that he doesn't control, but he does still control the wins total here in Dark Horse by 1. Craig Forsyth can somehow find 3 more wins in his career here, which I think he can. He'll become the all-time leader. Nick DeGroot with 11, Matty Wags with 10. Wags with a couple wins this season to help that total. Mike says he's feeling good behind the wheel, feeling energized. But Craig Forsyth looking pretty energized too. If you watched our Area 51 coverage, he finished that season strong with a couple of victories, I believe. Hey, if you're watching from home, you like what you see? The car is, I believe, part of your base subscription now on iRacing. All you need to do is buy the tracks. It's predominantly an oval series, so if you like open wheel oval racing, especially on the IndyCar style side of things, then check out the Dark Horse DW12 series. It is the longest running DW12 series on all of iRacing. Outside of the Dallara Dash, you're not going to find really anywhere else that uses these cars on a regular basis with a long-term league. And next season will kick off in July 12th, I believe. About a month from now at Kansas for season 10. If you'd like to be a part of that, the invite to the Discord server is in the description. You can click on that, join the server to learn more and to sign up. Like I said, the car is free. All you need are the tracks and the drive. And you too can be part of the Dark Horse Racing Series here. All these other drivers you see. And add your name to a list of other winners such as Robert Malechka, Rick Ravon, Craig Forsyth, noted motorsports journalist Nick DeGroot, Matty Wags, former champion Eric Schaus, all-time IndyCar great Henry Bennett, my broadcast partner Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Chris Stouffer, who's in this line of cars right here, Mark Cohn, we haven't seen in a while, Mark Murphy looking for his championship today, and Andy Kirchenbauer. You think you can match their wit? Sign up for next season today. So Shane Dinsdale looking for a little bit of an undercut along with primetime John Stellard, who unfortunately was caught up in an earlier incident. So he is in 18th position, 2 laps down. I like Zier to the points. You see Murph, Dinsdale, Hisong, Jomo, and then Gary Lovren, who's the 17th, 2 laps down. He was involved in that incident at lap 25. There we see Murph up on the jacks, down off the pneumatic jacks, down and away. He's going to race out Hisong. At least he has a dancing buddy to help him back out on the racetrack. Oh, caution on the racetrack. Oh, and a big wreck coming to the pit lane. A huge wreck, a monster wreck. Oh my gosh, we were watching people on pit road. What happened? Oh no. Forsyth loses it. Kirchenbauer gets slowed down. He gets back into the tail end of back in Dinsdale with that undercut. Gets in the back of Teed. To Jet Kenny Smith in the inside wall. But also involved Indy Kirchenbauer. Oh my goodness. Championship implications. Championship implications. Christopher was involved. You see his left front wing plane is askew. He'll have to get that addressed on pit road. Meatball flags for Jimmy Miguel, Lewis Hayes, Dinsdale, Forsyth, Kenny Smith, Charlie Teed, Kirchenbauer. A number of cars, half the field on this incident. And that is very disappointing to see. But that might be exactly what Murph need coming to pit road early for him. Might have allowed him to avoid that incident. Wags made it through. A number of cars limping around right now. A number of cars can't pass because we're under caution. But let's go back and let's watch that. Going back to, let's see, Craig Forsyth. I'm going to go back in time a little bit. Try to get another camera angle. But, okay, so it actually kind of starts a little bit earlier. We'll go down the backstretch, and we see this is the blue car to the inside, the light blue car. And he does what Newgarden did, but he did it in turn 3 instead of turn 4. Gets loose off of the corner. And I think really what that did is that really angered his back tires. So he comes off the corner, gets loose. So then you see the other thing that happens is, then let's go back to watch Kirchenbauer. Let's get a blimp view here. This might be a better view here. But you see him get loose. Okay, so, but they watch Stouffer get in the back of Kirchbauer, barely. Watch, he's going to lift. Kirchbauer, and that's just the closing rate. And then the DHL car of Stellard, I believe, as we need to get a better camera angle, I think got into the back of Teed, who was trying to slow down out of all this. Matty Wags. Let's go back and let's ride with Wags, but let's do it full speed. Oh, championship saving maneuvers for the admin of the Horizon IndyCar Series. Well, now, that is going to reset things as we are just shy of the halfway mark. Checking chat. My son Chris isn't racing tonight, but I can work effectively with the race. Hey, good to have you here. Professor Albrecht. What are you professor of? Let's see. The Emery fan says IU helmet make Kirch my fave. That's right. Papa has that IU helmet. We'll get a. There we go. The national champions. Hoosiers. Of course, Coach Sig drove the pace car for this year's Indy 500. Getting ready to go green. At lap 52 to 53. Lilac Zier bringing him down really slow. Getting a roll now as she's on it. Followed by Murph, Highsong, Wags, and Gary Miguel, who's executed the fast repair. He is the lead car in the race who has executed the fast repair. Chris Stouffer did not execute the fast repair. He just served the penalty to get a new front wing, which is about an additional 5 seconds. But with that extra on pit road, with all that extra calamity that you saw, he really didn't lose a lot of pit track position. Excuse me. Craig Forsyth goes 3 wide down the backstretch. He's like, I don't care if I already executed the fast repair. This is one of the few leagues we actually broadcast that still does a fast repair, and this is one of the few leagues that I know of that actually does not abuse it. These drivers hate using the fast repair. 3 wide. Retired professor of accounting. Okay, all right. Inside, Murph. He's going to account to be your new leader. Lilac Zier back to second. Highsong now looking for another win here in the series. Back up his win he got a couple seasons ago at Michigan. 3 wide, a little bit further back. But that is just for track position. Getting to Jet Smith. Teed ended up having to tow. He is a lap down. Smith a lap down. Forsyth a lap down. So the top 11 now on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Jomo. We saw Jomo just hanging out in the back, and that strategy is not looking too bad right now, as he's already gained 6 spots just by hanging out and keeping all the action in front of him. And there's a lot to say about that strategy. But this group in the back that's a lap down, they need to kind of get in line. They're going to start losing pace to the leaders. The top 6 have kind of pulled away a little bit. Teed's going to set it to the inside. Oh. Papa Clay saw that there was someone there and decided he was just going to hold his line. How does this change the championship? Well, Indy has retired. He is shown out of the race. So that is pretty much going to, well, Murph needs to get a good finish here. We won't give you the championship. Provisionally, he might be your champion right now. And really, if he knows that, and I'm sure he does, if he's watching his relative at all, he probably saw that Indy is out. And he might just stay in line and then wait till we get to the end here. He's got two choices. He could run this thing out and just win the championship nice and easy peasy, or go for the win. If I know Murph, he will go for the win at the end. We are a couple laps away from the halfway point. Matty Wags to the inside, High Song. Two longtime veterans here of the Dark Horse DW12 series. Isong, 83 starts. This is 84th start here today. Matty Wagner, this is his 85th start today. 86, actually. 85 career starts for him. Caution on the racetrack. Oh, no, it's Craig Forsyth again. Oh, and that just makes a long day longer. And he tows. And there he is going 3 wide. Got Kenny the Jet Smith in the middle. Charlie T down low. And what do we see going into turn 3? We just run out of real estate. Oh, a little bit, yeah. Everyone misses as those two cars stay high. And we're back under caution. That might put, yeah, Craig Forsyth retires. So that puts a bullet in his pony, unfortunately. But we're back under caution right here at the halfway point. 150 miles complete when we get to the line. We are only 9 laps into this stint. Do we see anyone come to pit road? I would not be surprised if someone did decide to come to pit road. Oh. Wags links out, but comes back. Well, that would have pretty much decided the championship there if he didn't return. And I think everyone's coming to pit road. At least they're giving indication they're coming to pit road. Teed's going to stay out, and he will go and get back to the lead lap. He will get the wave around. I think Stellard is going to do the same thing. He'll get one of his 2 laps back when they get the wave around. Teed actually is going to be the lucky dog. Stellard will just be collected by the pace car, and then he will get the wave around before we go green. Lilac Zier down and away. Looking for her first win, and wouldn't it be something if she could secure her first win in that Janet Guthrie scheme? Was Janet Guthrie a big part of festivities of this year's Indy 500? Breaking the woman in the starting lineup barrier, in the first woman in the 500 to qualify. In fact, I really remember as a kid, being young, you don't really remember all the drivers' names. You would think, you know, you would think Mario Andretti would be a common name. Really, the most names I remember as a kid, AJ Foyt. Everybody, if you grew up in Indianapolis, if you were a boy, you knew about AJ Foyt. That's it. In fact, if you were ever racing your big wheels, your tricycles, your bikes, whatever, it was always a fight to be who would be AJ Foyt, because everybody knew AJ Foyt. But the other name that other people knew is for sure, I remember Janet Guthrie, for sure. I remember seeing her at the 500 parade in the back of the pace car, and everyone running up to her wanting her autograph and cheering for her. And if there was no other driver, I remember their name as a child. Janet Guthrie was a very close second to AJ Foyt. She was that famous. Indianapolis made her that famous. As you get older, the names like Mario Andretti and Al Unser and Johnny Rutherford, they became more prevalent. But I do vividly remember in my younger days that the drivers that everyone knew by name were A.J. Foyt, of course, being Supertex, and a brand new kind of four-time winner at the time. And we're going to go one more lap here. Caution has been extended for a lap here. But Janet Guthrie was the other name that just about everybody, boys and girls in Indianapolis, would remember. And Matty Wags chatting in chat as he's in second on the racetrack. He says Al Unser. I would say Al was probably a name that everyone would remember, short, but it was for sure AJ. For sure AJ. Janet. I think one of the other names I seem to remember pretty early on, Johnny Rutherford. Of course, Bobby Unser. We're going to go one more lap. Now we're going green next time by, so I'm not sure why they decided to take an extra lap. I don't see a reason, but it was called off anyways. Murph is in the back. I think he has made a call here to take things easy. He goes around primetime John Stellard, who is now just one lap down. Gary Lovren, if we have another caution, can get back on the lead lap. It is not over for him. Cars are staggered at the moment, which is a pretty defensive position for all these guys. They travel down the backstretch in case something happens. They stagger themselves so they don't run. There's no brake lights here, so they're not going to see when a driver in front of them brakes. But you stagger yourself so you don't run into the back of the car in front of you until you get in the line about the north end of the racetrack here in the short chute. Let's ride on this restart with Mark Murphy, our provisional champion, I'm going to guess here at this point. He's taking things nice and easy. That is for position in front of him. Back to green flag as the field goes single file through one and to the south end of the racetrack. Murph's going to take a peek to the inside now. Jomo going to stall out a little bit. Going to keep the car there. Jomo's going to stay high, allow Murph on by. Murph's about 150 miles, less than 150 miles from getting his second series championship. Is John Stellard not wasting any time? Murph doesn't have, has all day to waste, really. John Stellard goes by, gets the track position. That's Lewis Hayes, one of the drivers we've seen in the AMA. Dinsdale goes high. Murph's going to follow John Stellard on through and give him another position here at the start-finish line. Just tucks in line. Now he goes to the inside of the one. Stellard stays high. Murph gets a big head of steam, and now he gets to Gary Lover, and he clears Stellard. Lovern stays high. He clears Lovern. Now he's to Clay. This is for position. This is for 8th. It's a run on Clay. Goes to the inside. And he's just going to go right by 2 drivers. Pick up 2 for 1 going into 3. Puts a position on Hunter Smith. And Clay Kirchenbauer move Murph up to 7th. In 6th gear. He goes on Peterson. Let's get another one on Stouffer. Stouffer sees him. Murph's monitor went out. Oh. Well, better, I guess, here than during one of your races when he's streaming for you, right there, Wags? Gary Miguel to the points. The Target livery. Murph's already up at 3rd. He's doing what Robert Molechka did at Michigan yesterday, from the back to the front. And now he runs the points. Hey, if you enjoy our coverage of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Tonight's 9th running of the Dark Horse Indianapolis 300 and the Dark Horse Racing Series is presented by 4D Racewear. Check out 4D's line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. And now they offer race awards and custom championship rings for your own leagues. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description. Back to the point, Mark Murphy leading. Lilac Zier 2nd, Jeremy Miguel in 3rd, and Matt Wagner in 4th, Hunter Smith in 5th. 2 of those 5 drivers be looking at their first win here in the Dark Horse Series if they got their win here today. That's Hunter Smith and Lilac Zier, who is taking the lead going into 1. Oh, big evasive move to the inside. Clay Kirchenbauer. He's got to keep that car straight, and he's got dancing cars around him. What happened? I think he got loose off the corner. Maybe helped. We'll see. The closing rates of these cars we're seeing, that, especially at the end of the straights, is pretty immense. And does he? No. He just gets dirty air and bangs wheels with Jeff Heisong and keeps it out of the inside wall, preventing a repeat of what we saw with Scott Dixon and Jay Howard. Back up front. Dear Murphy, Miguel, Wags, Hunter Smith, Stouffer, Peterson, Heisong. Kirchenbauer now faded a little bit to a distant 9th, but might be a good position as all these drivers are now all together. Something happens, we'll be under a big pack caution. There will be a multiple car incident, so might be a good position for Kirchenbauer to fade on back. Back to the inside, Lilac Zier in the 85 throwback machine goes to the point. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you miss the next race. Next race for us is our doubleheader Monday night as Season 3 of 2026 on iRacing kicks off. You'll have Murph and Jacob Collins in the booth for the Indy Open Series. I believe at Road America. And then right after him is Jacob Collins and Sophie Connell with the Indy Next Road Series. And they'll be at Road Atlanta to kick off week 1 of Season 3 of 2026. First of 12 weeks of racing in this season for iRacing. as we start getting into the slower portion of the calendar for a lot of these drivers. Next big race that we'll see a lot of people start gearing up for will be the PRI Hoosier 500 in December. But before then, we will see the start here on the channel of the next season of Votive, the next season of Dark Horse, the next season of the Formula Indy Series. That's all kicking off in July. Also, kick off the next season of Horizon. And the next season of Area 51 here very soon on the channel. So if you're looking for a lot of IndyCar action, July's a big month, as a lot of series will kick back up again for their second half of their years. And don't forget, we still need to complete the IIS this season as well, the IndyCar iRacing Series, and the Saturday Top Splits here on P1, and that will be this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time from Road America. Everyone, again, getting back in line, behaving very well. That's what they need to do at this point, as we are getting to lap 75. If this was the old 100-mile model, we'd be looking at 25 to go. But we extended it by 50 miles. Take it to 300. Take it to another 5 more laps, it would have been 500 kilometers. Your big gainer on the racetrack right now is Christopher. He's up 8 spots. And then Joe Moe and Lewis Hayes, just by order of surviving, those two up 7 spots apiece. As Joe Moe around Teague picks up a spot, so now he's tied. Christopher is the biggest gainer, up 8 positions. I like Zier back to the point. If you like what you see and like to be a part of future races of the Dark Horse Racing Series, click on the Dark Horse Discord server invite in the stream description to learn more today. The car is free. It's part of your base iRacing package. Joining the league is free. All you need is a desire and the tracks on the schedule. So, the drive. If you think you got what it takes to race with the Dark Horse Racing Series drivers and legends, we encourage you to sign up today to learn more. Again, join the Discord server. Zier, Murph, Miguel, Wags, Hunter Smith, your top 5. Stouffer, Peterson, Heisong, Teed, Morales, your top 10. 3 cars in the top 10 looking for their first ever win here in the series. We had this season. Find that stat here for you. First-time winners, Guillermo Miguel at Gateway, Andy Kirchenbauer at Charlotte. The 2 first-time winners this season. Season 8, we had a bunch of first-time winners. Chris Albrecht, Jeff Heisong, Eric Peterson, and John Martins. So we have a good history of first-time winners here. Just because someone here has 14, 15 wins doesn't mean they win every week. So if you, like you said, looking for a very competitive league with a lot of parity and a car that's very easy to drive. It's very fun to drive, too. It's a challenge drive. I don't mean that easy, as in it's easy to get wins. I mean, it's just easy to get into, easy to get a feel for. You don't have to worry about tools. There's no weight jacker, no anti-roll bars you have to worry about. The only thing you can really adjust in the car is the brake bias, and that's really no different than any other fixed series car you hop into that might have a tin top. Oh, I like Zier, gets the dirty air, scoots up to the wall, but keeps it off. She keeps the lead. But really, your biggest driving control tools is that matter of grade between your ears, your left hand, right hand, your left foot and right foot. And that pretty much is everything you need. And if you're a smart driver and you can have good racecraft, you can handle your car very well, you'll do well in this league. here's a schedule we had this season. It's not a very aggressive schedule, not a very aggressive race length either. Very, very manageable for everybody. That if you're looking to be a part of the league, you can also find out more about the league and the history of the league on Sim Racing Hub. Just type in Dark Horse Racing Series or Dark Horse. You will find it. There is no schedule yet as official schedule. So in other words, when we talk about the next season, season 10, they say in the wrestling business, cards subject to change. But we do have a tentative start for round one. Should be July 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern time from Kansas. Which should be about 150 laps, 225 miles. Kind of what we've done mile-and-a-half tracks at. Lilac back to the point. Murph, second. Miguel in third. Wags in the fourth. Hunter Smith, winner of the season ago. Not this most completed season, but the season before of the Elite Racing League. So that's over on the Elite Racing Network. And we broadcast, myself and Luis Gonzalez Nunez broadcast their races for their broadcast team. He won the Indy 500 2 seasons ago now, basically. It's his lone Elite Racing League win, but anytime you've experienced victory lane at the Brickyard, that's experience that is well earned. We might see him later in this race. Starting to catch a little lap traffic now. That is, let's see, who's in front of, that is going to be John Stellard, who is the last car on the lead lap. Here he is. Miguel wanting to go to the point. He's looking to join a long line of Brazilians who have won at the Brickyard. But Lilac Zier coming to pit road, scheduled stop right at lap 25, coming to lap 25. Joining them on pit road will be Jomo, will be Teed. So Zier and Mark Murphy next to last stops here of the campaign. This would put their next stop right around, right before the finish, actually. Bring up the calculator. Yeah, but a lap 10. Lap 110, excuse me. So 10 laps from the end. So I don't think there's any amount of fuel save you could do. Zier comes out first. Murph in second. They're going to go down, they might go down a lap, or they're going to be right in front of the leaders when they come back out on the racetrack. They're a good ways down the straightaway. Charlie T, black flag, coming off the pit road, speeding. So a good day of running up to the front early, getting caught in an incident, now is being piled upon by a black flag, and he will have to answer pit road again to get that taken care of. Give me Miguel on pit road. There we see Miguel. Also in the background, say hey, Lewis Hayes coming to pit road. Scheduled stop for the stock car veteran who really likes these DW12s. Hunter Smith now to the point. Staying high and wide right now, giving room to Wags. Wags and Stouffer, two drivers with a ton of experience and starts in these cars and in Indy cars in general. But here comes Wags. Here comes Hunter Smith. Here comes Peterson, as well as Hysong and Lovern, all to pit road. Now, if anybody can get closer to 190, it's going to make things a little bit different, a little bit interesting. Or, excuse me, 90, excuse me, not 190. That gets him into lap 115 territory. Remember, we're doing 120 laps. Stouffer all by himself for the most part, although Gary Miguel right in front of him. Not close enough to exercise the draft, and he's coming to pit road anyways. The draft window, the draft envelope on these cars extends about 1 point, or actually 0.6 of a second. Not as far as the IR18. In fact, I wish iRacing would come back and update these cars, even though these are legacy status and are not making very many updates, if at all, to these cars anymore, to at least extend the draft envelope and to allow use of the tools for fixed setup races. That would be nice. I would say that these cars, if they were to extend the draft envelope, it's about 1.5 seconds for an IR18. I would say take it back to 2 seconds. I mean, these things punch a major hole in the air with those side pods. Wags out on the racetrack. Stouffer stop and gone, and he's going now. And he's going to pop out right in front of, which will be the leaders again in this lead pack of 5. Hunter Smith is in 5th. Peterson needs to run these guys down if he can. He's kind of by himself in a no man's land along with Hysong. Hysong, I think, is getting in line with Lovern and try to work with him. So everyone's going to have to stop again. I don't think there's anyone that can save enough fuel. The only possible driver that can save fuel is Stouffer, and he needs to save a ton. About 5 laps worth, maybe 4 laps worth, in that where he is here. Let's ride with him. Let's listen. Is he saving any fuel? That's Murph. Here's Stouffer. Remember, these cars and the rules of the series, 80% fuel. They do not have 100% capacity tanks. If they did, remember, they're about the same capacity as the IR18. Or the IR18 are these cars in real life, just with a different aero package. It's the IR18 aero package. In fact, if you were to look at the tubs and to see the serial numbers on the tubs, it would say Dallara, and it would start with the DW12, and that would, the real world, they still use these cars. That's what they're talking about, the new car and IndyCar racing. Yeah, we hear a lot of lifting here from Stouffer, so he's trying to save. He's doing a good job. I'm not sure if he's going to make it, but if there's anyone here that can, it's this guy. He has a ton of starts. Let's look at the driver inputs as well. And he's down in 5th gear. I figured if he was saving fuel, you get the 6th. Now, I have heard in these cars, unlike the IR18, where you get maximum saving in 6th gear, and you can turn down the fuel map, of course. Here, it doesn't, 6th gear doesn't save you as much. So he's just riding it out right now. He is in 6th gear, drops to 5th. Keep the revs up. A little bit of a run, immediately goes to 6th. Back to Wags. So those that pitted at lap, and let me see, Murph at 84, so coming to 85. They're going to have to pit with about 10 to go. Probably. Unless we get some caution here late in the race. Right now, with the way this field is kind of stretching out, unless they get really racy, we might not see any wheel banging until we get to the last lap. Of course, we're not going to see a caution on the last lap. Let's run through the field real quick. Murphy's your leader. Lilac Zier now is your leader. Murphy's in second. Christopher in third, trying to save some fuel. Wags is in fourth. Hunter Smith, they're all in that picture together. There's your top five. Eric Peterson, he would like to see a little bit of a caution so he can catch this group. They're slowly outrunning him. He's 1.8 seconds behind them. We're looking at gaps on the tree right now, by the way. Here's your intervals back from the leader. And Miguel. Jeff Heisong and Peterson, by the way, are racing for position. They should work together. They probably are. Then Miguel back here with, that's John Stellard, who unfortunately is down in the 13th position, one lap down. He'd really like to see a caution. Jomo, he's in 9th. Just running a very quiet race, keeping his car out of trouble. Started 17th, up 8 spots. Same with Lewis Hayes, he's up 8 spots. He started 18th. They are the last two cars on the lead lap. Gary Lovern, first car, one lap down. There you see him right with this duo of Heisong and Peterson. He was involved in that lap 25 caution with John Stellard, who's in 12th. Stellard would like to reach Lovern and pass him and make up for that lap 25 incident. Dish back a little lack of appreciation, I guess. Hey, you wrecked me. I don't think he wrecked him on purpose, to be honest with you, But he would definitely like to get back up there and race him and pass him and say, hey, I beat you, though. Shane Dinsdale in the plain white wrapper, all by himself, back in 13th. And Clay Kirchenbauer involved in an incident earlier in the race. And now in 14th position, trying to bring the car home. The championship is pretty much all but decided. Murph really just needs to make it official by finishing the race. Murph will be your champion. I guess I'm saying this by knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx him at all, give him the commentary jinx. Indy Kirchenbauer has retired, who was second in the points coming into today by 19. Wags, and here's the points coming into today, by the way. Wags is going to put a major push on second. Wags might get second out of this if he gets a good finish. We see primetime John Stellard coming to pit road in the background. Stouffer won't get to second. I don't think at this point won't get to third, but it'll be a lot closer with Kirchenbauer falling out. And not racing tonight, Hugo Gallus. Though I believe Kirchenbauer will probably pass Gallus. But Peterson, Miguel, Lovern, Heisong, Clay, they're all in the lineup, so they're all looking to gain points tonight. So 20 to go here at the Brickyard. 50 miles. Only 21 to go, but you know what I mean. We are running the Freedom 100. We'll be at half distance. And once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 9 of 9 Championship Sunday of Season 9 of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear, coming to you from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 9th running of the Dark Horse Indianapolis 300. Currently, Mark Murphy, your points leader, looking to secure his secure his second championship, which would be a back-to-back championship for him. To add to championships won, I believe, in the VOR Series, Area 51. add to his 2 fixed series, official fixed series championships. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Next race for us here in the Dark Horse Series will be Sunday, July 12th, when the teams and drivers will start this all over again for the opener of Season 10. The schedule is TBA, but right now everything is tentatively started at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with round 1 being at Kansas for Season 10, the longest running Dallara DW12 series on all of iRacing, the Dark Horse DW12 series presented by 4D Racewear. Speaking of 4D Racewear, they are the presenting sponsor of the Dark Horse Racing Series. Check out 4D's line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel, and now race awards and custom championships rings for your own leagues. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description today. The end is in sight for a lot of these drivers after a long season. We started way back in January. For much of this season, it's been kind of 1 race a month, kind of spread out very evenly. But when they get on the racetrack, these races have been very nip and tuck, tooth and nail. Murph coming to pit road. He's going to pit early, and he's bringing Wags with him. He's going to pit early, so he doesn't have to worry about pitting late. Final stop in the championship season of Mark Murphy. No penalties, not pulling a Scott Dixon. Speeding in your last stop. There we see Densdale moving up on the jacks, and enough fuel and a new set of tires just to get home. Down and away. They'll bring Wags with them. We'll see if they'll race it out here for the victory at the end. Oh, no. Mark Murphy, black flag. I'm not sure when he picked it up, but Mark Murphy has picked up a black flag on pit road. It had to be coming off of pit road. I did not see him get the black flag coming on the pit road. So speeding for Mark Murphy on pit road on the final stop, and I absolutely jinxed it. That is a complete Scott Dixon, and he's got to come to pit road and do the penalty. And we see Peterson in the background coming to pit road. Lilac Zier now running the point. Do we see Zier come to pit road? Do we see Stouffer come to pit road? Do we even see Hunter Smith come to pit road? Last stop, Lilac Zier at lap 84. Christopher 88, Hunter Smith 87. So Stouffer and Hunter Smith can go at least a little bit longer. Closer inside of 10 to go. Do they come to pit road sooner rather than later? Or are they just going to stake out here and run this thing out? Mark Murphy. Oh, no. That is painful. Is that going to cost them the championship? It probably won't. But it's not the way he wanted to go out, I'm sure. That's going to make things just a little bit tighter. But unfortunately, we now take the focus off him. And now the points and the win for this race. It is Stouffer, Zier, and Hunter Smith. Do we see Wagner get back into this? Miguel is still in the battle. He's going to have to come to pit road. Miguel stopped at lap 86. He went pretty long. Lewis Hayes went 86. He went pretty long. But can they go longer, but with no help out there? They're just kind of hoping for a caution now at this point. Here's the stint length for you. 25 laps seems to be about max. I like Zier coming to pit road. Final stop. not speeding. But 1 is the loneliest number on pit road. And 60 miles per hour, that's pretty fast on the highway, but painfully slow when these cars on the racetrack are doing 220 plus. Last lap. Give me that last lap time. Stouffer, he's doing 223s. Smith is doing 223s. He's doing a 224. They are not saving fuel. I think they're just going to go to the bitter end. Chris Stouffer will be looking for his 6th career win here in the series. He gets the win here today. Hunter Smith, his first career win here in the series. Jamie Miguel, if he makes it, he's coming to pit road right now for his final stop for the Brazilian. Winner earlier this season at Gateway. Podium finishes also since then as well, so finishing this season strong. Stouffer and Hunter Smith working together. I like Zier off of pit road cleanly, now in 3rd. Addie Wags trying to run her down. He's in 4th. Jeff Hysong 5th. Wags, if he gets a win here today, it will be his 11th career win, tying him 4th all time with Nick DeGroot. Jeff Hysong, if he gets a win here today, if he could somehow come from 4th on back here in the final 10 laps to get a win, it'll be his 2nd career win. Same thing with Peterson. Do we see these two leaders come to pit road anytime? They're going to have to come to, we think they have to come to pit road with somewhere in less than 10 to go. We are now in that range. And they might be wanting to see a caution at this point. Joseph Morales. Say hey, Lewis Hayes battling for position in the back portion of the top 10. If a caution happens, it might be this group right here running for 4th. But right now, I think they need to work together and run down Lilac in front of them. Lilac's 1.1 seconds down the road, so it's twice. Oh, both the leaders coming to pit road now. Final stop. They cannot speed coming to pit road. Hunter Smith gets it down to 60 miles per hour, getting in the back of Chris Stouffer. Both handle that very good on pit road. Great racecraft there. Great car control. And all they need to do is top off the tank. Are they going to change tires? Yes. Chris Stouffer goes up on the jacks. Hunter Smith. No, he does not go up on the jacks. I didn't see him go up on the jacks. No, he did not. He is fuel only. And he comes out in front of Chris Stouffer. That's 3 seconds saved by going with... Oh, look at him. He's getting squirrely with those used tires. The warm used tires that are 25 laps old. But he's going to have himself a big lead. And that might be the move that wins him the race. He's going to come out in front of the leaders. Hunter Smith is clean and clear off of pit road and down the backstretch. And he is clear by 1.1 seconds over Chris Stouffer. Chris Stouffer needs to cut that in half if he wants to get to the draft envelope. But will the tires last out? Hunter Smith off of 4, down the main straightaway, 20 miles to go, now less than 20 miles to go, 7 at the line. Let's check the interval. 1.2. Let's check last laps in miles per hour. Let's reset that. Let's see if Stouffer is able, and we show them, they'll have to reset because they're on their out lap, but it'll show mile per hour next time. Or it should. He's pulled the 1.2. .222.7, 222.2. Hunter Smith pulling away with those used tires. We've talked about this before, and I've said it before, and he's kind of bucking the trend. I've said it before, and we've seen in races in other series and other leagues that used tires are new tires in these cars mean everything, and he is pulling away here in the late stages in Indianapolis. 3 wide down the backstretch. Wags 3 wide going into 3. They're 2 miles per hour faster back here. .222.8, 222.8. 5 to go. And there is nothing for Hunter to do. Just keep your foot buried and hit your marks over the course of these next 12 and a half miles, basically. Stouffer not gaining. Stouffer needs help. Stouffer running out of time. 222.8. 223 flat. He gains a little bit that time. The only way that you can gain in these cars is you just got to be smoother through the corners, unwind that wheel, not scrub off any speed. He's getting closer. Not much, but a little bit. 4 to go, a qualification run for a win here in the Indy 500. Coming off of 4, looking at 3 to go, out the back of our leader, Hunter Smith. .223.1. Lilac Zier with a big run of 226.5. And now Chris Stouffer has a friend to work with in the closing stages. Hunter Smith goes to the inside, trying to break the draft. The draft really isn't there. They still need another 4 tenths in order to get to the envelope. They shave off a tenth. 3 to go, 2.5 to go. Hunter Smith maintains low through the short chute, trying again, give as little draft of as possible. Now down the front stretch, he goes to the inside. We have lap traffic in front of him. Lilac Zier goes to the inside to try to get a sniff of the draft. She's still 2 tenths away from catching. Hunter Smith now through 1, 2 to go. We'll bring you the intervals, 8 tenths of a second. She needs to get 2 more tenths. Now a tenth to get to the draft envelope. Stouffer getting the pull from Lilac Zier. He goes to the inside. He is now almost within the draft envelope. He's right at the border of the draft envelope. He'll be at the draft envelope at the corner, at the exit of 4 with 1 to go at the line. White flag out. This race isn't over yet. Hunter Smith, the Elite Racing League Indy 500 champion, looking to get an Indy 500 win or an Indy 300 win here in Dark Horse, but being ran down by Lilac Zier and Chris Stouffer with much fresher tires down the backstretch to the inside, the weave to the inside to the outside. Here comes Lilac Zier. She's going to have a head of steam. Here comes Chris Stouffer. He's going to be there at 3. We're going to have a drag race to the finish. Here we go through the corner. Chris Stouffer is caught. He's going to turn Hunter Smith. He's going to turn Hunter Smith in the corner. Now it's going to be a drag race between Stouffer and Zier down the front straightaway. Chris Stouffer isn't going to win the championship, but it's going to be a drag race at the end, and it's going to be Lilac Zier at the line by 13 thousandths of a second. Wow. Thank you, Professor Albrecht. Appreciate that. My voice is spent now. It's not a cold Coke anymore. It's kind of lukewarm Coke. Timing and scoring is reset. 14 thousandths of a second is the margin of victory. And you are looking at the first female driver to ever win, I believe, in the Dark Horse Racing Series. I don't think Alexis Newsom did. She is actually the Speedway champion of Lionheart, and there was a lot of crossover between. I don't think so. I think this is the first female driver ever. All right. There you see Zier with the win over Stouffer and Peterson on the bottom step of the podium. Jeff Heisong in 4th. Matty Wags in 5th. Guillermo Miguel in 6th. Say Hey Lewis Hayes in 7th. Jomo in 8th. Hunter Smith spun to 9th. Gary Lovern in 10th. Don Stellard, Clay Kirchenbauer, Mark Murphy. We'll see if he won the championship. I think he has. Jane Tinsdale, Charlie Teed, Greg Forsyth, Kenny Smith, Andy Kirchenbauer. That is your 18-car field here tonight here for the finale of Season 9. It's Championship Sunday. And since I am working the booth alone, I got to reset all this stuff. I can't pass it off to somebody and say, hey, talk while I reset here and queue up these replays and whatnot. All right. All right, let's do this. And here we go. All right, let's get into the interview room and bring in Eric Peterson. But first, I just want to refresh the points, see if we have everything updated there. Oh, yes, we do. And so, points. Here we go. Going to the standings. And Mark Murphy is going to win the championship, so he goes back-to-back. He edges out Indy Kirchenbauer by grew his points lead a little bit by 26 points, or he grew it to 26 points. We entered this race at 19. Matty Wags finishes 3rd. Another kind of podium finish for this guy. He always sees, but he's always in the neighborhood, so that's good. He's always a player. He will get a championship in something. I guarantee it. Christopher is going to come home in 4th. Jeff Heisong 5th. Eric Peterson in 6th. Guillermo Miguel in 7th. Lilac Zier is going to actually get inside the top 10. Finish 8th with the win here today. Gary Lovern in 9th. And Clay Kirchenbauer, the progenitor, he comes home in 10th. So those are your final points for the season. Something I'm noticing right off the bat, shout out to Jeff Heisong, who completed the most laps this season. 1,300 laps even, which might have been the entire distance, I think. I don't know. We'll have to go back and see every single lap for the season, but that sounds about right mathematically for the calendar. But if that's I don't know very many people in real IndyCar history that's actually done that. I think I remember Tony Kanaan set that record in IndyCar racing, where he completed every single lap of a single season one year on the lead lap and everything. And I just can't remember. I'm sure there's been others have done it, but 1,300 laps. He is the leader there in that category. So congrats to Jeff Heisong. He'll get another win here in the series. I'm sure of it at some point. All right, let's get into the interview room and talk to, let's see here. All right. Making sure I'm looking at my DMs. All right, interview room. Let's get into the interviews here. Eric Peterson, here he comes. We'll bring him in now. And joining us in the booth, hey, Eric, it's just me. You got me, and it's just you. And I guess it's a good thing that you got on the podium for this finish here. It gives you a good chance to talk about the league and the state of the league, and maybe give us a picture into what next season looks like. But a good race for you. Had to overcome a little bit of adversity on that incident when I think really what happened is that it looks like Craig might have got his tires really warm when he kind of got loose off of 3, and then calamity happened off of 4 when he got loose again. You had to execute the fast repair there, but you were still able to do it, and you finished on the podium there at the end. Congrats.
Yeah.
A solid season for you, my friend. You finished in the 6th in points, another top 10 finish.
Yep.
And a great way to end the season of your own league on the podium here at the biggest racetrack, the biggest race of your season.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a fun race. We had some, I don't know what iRacing did, but the pit limiters aren't working the way they should. I don't know if you are going to hear that from other drivers, but I know Murphy had a pit limiter incident where it's on, but it lets you go over. So you can't just hold the throttle where you want. You have to be very cautious of that. And I know other people got caught on it too. Shane Denso got a couple of them, couple penalties, I think he said. But I was lucky enough just to keep my eye on it. But yeah, I really should have ended up 4th. I feel bad for Hunter. I think it was Hunter that spun out there in 3 and 4. Saw him go through the infield there, coming around to get the checkers. So, but no, it was a good race. It was fun. You know, it was definitely drivable in the corners. You know, we could hold, we could draft, we could pass. So it was fun. But yeah, thanks to you guys, everything. And then of course we have season 10 coming up, starting July 12th, which will be at Kansas. So if any of you are out there watching, listening, and want to join the league, just hit us up on our webpage, darkhorseracingseries.com, or of course you can certainly hit up P1 Broadcasting, find all our information there on their YouTube channel. So thank you very much for a great season, and looking forward to the next one.
Let's talk. I think that pit road speeding thing, there was definitely an update that happened over the last week, and one of the things that was updated system-wide for every car was it was going to be better control or tighter control over pit road. And there used to be that old exploit, at least on the IndyCar side of things, where you could hit the paddle shifters up and down, and that would kind of give you a mile and a per hour kind of boost that didn't often get caught. And supposedly that is what they took away in the latest update. What I'm concerned about now is that the update might have a bug on the DW12. And so you might want to let iRacing know this.
I really think that there is, for the fact is that we're not even shifting. We're not doing the bumps and gears of 1 and 2. And if you hold it floored, you're going 60.8 miles an hour and it's red and telling you to slow down. So you have to, you know, the pit limiter is useless unless there's a setting that you set the miles an hour somewhere in the settings that we didn't know about. I did see in the updates that there was a DW12 car update. I don't know what they did, maybe updated setups or, you know, whatever they do, but I'll have to dig into that, see if there's a setting that you can set for your pit limiter to see what your miles an hour are. So,
well, that aside, I think a pretty successful season and a pretty successful race for you. Congratulations. And man, I'm looking forward to starting this all over again with you guys about a month from now when we do Kansas.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And obviously thanks to Shane over at Votive for alternating Sundays with us, which allows their guys to race with us and vice versa. We really appreciate that. Doing the alternating Sundays when the schedule permits and things like that. And of course, having you and Andrew on board and whoever else gets in the booth with you. We love having you guys do this. It's always a lot of fun.
Any other shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to give a hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, well, thank all my Dark Horse guys for coming out. Charlie had a good run until he got a speeding penalty. And of course I think he got wrecked up in that pit entrance snafu that a lot of us got bungled up in. And of course to all the guys that came out for Dark Horse, and of course, again, all the Dark Horse guys, Jeff and AJ and, just the crew that we love getting together with on Sundays and obviously catching up on the last few weeks of life and having fun on our Discord channel. So it's always a good time. So appreciate it.
Eric Peterson, he will get that second win someday to back up that win he got a season ago at Iowa. He definitely would love to do it here at Indianapolis, and came close today, finishing third. Congratulations, and we'll see you when we start the next season in about a month. All
right. Thanks, Gary. Have a great night.
That is Eric Peterson. Let's bring in Chris Stouffer. And here is Chris. We got you in the booth here, Chris. It's just me tonight. Probably not exactly the finish on two different levels that you're looking for. I'm sure that you didn't want that contact with Hunter. in 3 and 4. We'll talk about that as a separate incident. And then, of course, the drag race with Lilac to the line. I think the thing there at the end was you came to pit road. You opted for those tires. For a while, though, that might have been not the call to go with, because Hunter opted to go with no tires and fuel only, and that's how he came out in front of you by about such a large margin. But you were able to run him down. First of all, would you be able to run him down by yourself if Lilac was not there to kind of help you? And the other thing is was it just really the difference in tires and the big run that you got going into the corner that really caused the contact in the 3?
Well, I don't think I would have caught him by myself. The car did get loose on old tires on low fuel, and so that's why I went ahead and took tires, because I figured he'd be just hanging on for dear life and scrubbing speed, and I would catch him quicker. But after we got back out there a few laps in, I was like, well, I guess I'm getting second. And then Lilac caught me, and then we were able to swap draft enough just to catch him right there at the end. Yeah, I had a head of steam going into 3. My thought process was, I knew he was going to come down and block me, so I was going to pull out and try to get a run on the high side. In 4, coming to the line. Yeah, I didn't. That's not contact that I wanted. That's for sure. It was weird. It gave me a 0x, and next thing you know, he was spinning down the track, and I immediately piped up and apologized. And I was in so much shock that after that happened that I didn't even realize we were coming to the checkered flag, and I didn't even throw a block or anything. I was just like, oh, okay, here, just go ahead and draft right past me, like we're not finishing a race. So, I mean, I don't feel like I deserve to win after, that contact in 3. It's just, it's one of those things. It happens. We talked about it. He wasn't mad, but it's certainly not how I had envisioned it. That's for sure.
Well, we do have the points in, and you do finish the championship in the top 5. You got to the top 5. You finished in the top 5 and 4th spot. So not overall a bad season. You do have a win this season, I believe, at of course you're the Pocono Whisperer, and you got to win at Pocono, of course. Just adding to your totals, at some point we'll more than likely see you on the top step again, whether it be in the championship or another race. But a pretty successful season overall, and it's just a month wait, and we're to season 10, so we'll get to do this all over again.
Yeah, these cars are a lot of fun to drive. These guys out here, they're good drivers. It's usually clean races. I'm surprised we had the cautions we did. Everybody seemed to be minding their P's and Q's, but those things happen. We'll come back next season. We'll be there and try to get some more wins and see if we can fight for a championship then.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go. Of course, I know you want to shout out the guys at 40.
40racewear.com. I know Craig didn't have a good finish today. He got in some bad luck there, but he's always good front runner as well. So shout out to 40racewear.com. Check them out. Go to the website. Kids, thank you for letting me do this. And you up here in the booth, Gary, I appreciate it. It's always fun to watch the broadcast and everything when you're on the mic. So I always appreciate that, and everybody putting on the league. Thank you.
Well, good to have you again this season. I'm sure we'll see you again. Finishing second on the racetrack, 4th in the championship is Christopher. Congrats. We'll see you at the next one.
Thank you.
And that is Christopher. Let's see. One other thing. Let's see. Margin of victory was 0.014. So the last 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The biggest margin of victory on 2 occasions have been 0.181 of a second. That was Rick Ravon over Jeff Heisong, and then Rick Ravon in his first win here at Indianapolis was 0.104. And also Eric Schaus, I think, beat JB by also that same margin, 104. But today, 0.014. Last time we were here, 0.022. So 22 thousandths of a second, 14 thousandths of a second today, 22 thousandths of a second in round 9, and in the summer 2024 race was 3 thousandths of a second. So the last 3 races have been covered by 22 thousandths of a second. Hard to believe. That is, I told you at the beginning that there's one thing that Indianapolis is known for is anything can happen here in the Dark Horse Series. And we showed that once again with today's margin of victory. We'll bring up Lilac Zier, today's winner. Lilac Zier, 14 thousandths of a second, joining the long list of other very much high prestige and the drivers with long resumes here in the IndyCar community, now with the win in the Dark Horse Series, a 25th different winner to get a win here in the Dark Horse Series over 9 different seasons. Congratulations, Lilac. Talk about that last bit, running down, first of all, Hunter, and then having to work with Christopher at a period of the race where a lot of people don't want to work with one another anyways, but you had to work with him in order just to get the Hunter, and then finally when the contact with Hunter occurred, then it's like, oh, I got to keep my foot in this thing because I'm still 2 turns away from trying to win this thing. Let's talk about the trying to catch Hunter, everything leading up to Hunter, when Stouffer caught you, the contact, and then the drag race to the checkered flag.
Oh yeah, I mean, it all came down to the pit stop and the delta on the pit lane, first of all, right? I was thinking, okay, I don't need as much fuel as it takes for tires, but I just need more than everybody else, so I may as well take tires, right? And then it didn't occur to me to not take tires because they felt a little sketchy at the end of the run, but for a few extra laps, it could definitely work for some people. And I think Hunter took no tires and got a big gap there. And first I had to work with Shane because I actually came out too far behind Chris and without swap drafting to get to him, and Shane was there, and he was kind enough to kind of just naturally start swapping with me without even any words exchanged. He just knew that was what we needed to do. He had some unfortunate speeding penalties. I think iRacing's new pit limiter has some tweaks to work out. We got to get used to it still, but yeah, worked with Shane, got caught up to Chris, and then Shane backed off, let us all go for the win, and I didn't think we were going to get to Hunter, actually, and then with like a half a lap to go, we got there, and it was just the closing race. I think it's hard to, know where to go and what to do, so they ended up making slight contact, unfortunately, but that opened up the door for me, kind of, and it was able to get a run. I had been swapping a lot with Murph, who also had a speeding penalty, so I kind of knew I could get to the line first if I timed it right and did everything just right, so it worked out.
As reports went through the field about the speeding penalties and everything and having to adjust your style going to pit road, did you do everything manually from that point on, or did you rely on the limiter, or you use the limiter but you never allowed it to get to 100%? So I mean, you had to adjust how everything happened on pit road because it's the same rules for everybody. What was your big change on pit road that allowed you to kind of avoid the penalty?
Oh yeah, I mean, I still was using it, but anytime it would go red, I would just panic lift and just need to lose a couple tenths just to make sure, and that worked out okay. I lost one spot in the pits once, but it was better than getting a penalty.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I when I logged on today for the first time to start setting up for the broadcast, you were here. I just saw you turning tons and tons of laps. I don't know what you were out there learning by yourself, but you were just out there turning tons of laps. And I thought to myself, even at that point, I'm like, this might be Lilac's day. This might be her day. She's out there doing so many more laps than everyone else. At times, I think you might have been the only car out there. I mean, I guess I don't want to say it's a long time coming because you're fairly new to the league, but seeing you in victory lane is sometime that in anything we've known, it's just been a matter of time, and it's good to finally have you here. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone I want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't drive this car as much as the new car, so any laps are good laps for this one because it just paves differently in different scenarios. So I got loose hitting the curb once in practice. That was like, oh, don't go down there. But yeah, shout out to my team, TMR, Votive, the Alliance, and everything. Shout out to Dark Horse for putting this on, and they alternate with Votive on the weeks, so that's a good time. It's good schedule for both of them, and I have a lot of fun. And shout out to you for broadcasting.
Well, Lilac, congratulations. First time that we got you in victory lane here on the channel. That's a big third first-time winner this season, 25th different winner in series history. Congratulations. You know what you have to do. You got to go drink milk. And you got to post a video of yourself on the Discord server. You're drinking milk, because that's what you just don't do orange juice. Whatever you do, don't do orange juice. But milk, you got to drink milk, because you only win at Indy once for the first time, and that was today. Congratulations, and go enjoy it.
I'm gonna have to go buy some. I think I don't know if I have any, but I'll take a look. If I do not, I'll go get some.
Fair enough. You got to get some milk, man. I'll talk to you later, Lilac. It's good to have you here. Congratulations. And also on top of that, the first female driver to boot in the history of the Dark Horse Racing Series. So trendsetter as well as a point setter as well. Congratulations, and we'll catch you at the next one, Lilac.
Thanks.
And that is Lilac Zier, winner tonight. And let's get into the championship portion of today's broadcast, and we will bring in Mark Murphy here momentarily, and he will definitely have lots of things to say. And I'm glad I don't have Luis Gonzalez Nunez here, because he'd be hitting me up with a message saying, "Come on, man, does he have anything else you need to say?" Mark, but Mark has definitely earned it, being the champion, and here he is joining us in the booth. Champion by 26 points over Indy Kirchenbauer, and back-to-back champions here in the Dark Horse Racing Series, joining the such luminaries as Nick DeGroot now and Craig Forsyth as two-time champions here in the series. Congratulations, Mark. I guess the first thing we want to talk about, you're a player here in the day's race, and then the black flag on the I'm going to call it the pit road bug at this point until we know otherwise. When did you get the penalty? Was it coming on pit road, or was it coming off pit road? And what was the thought that went through your mind at that point? Or did you already know that you had the championship?
I don't think I'm allowed to say on the channel the thought that went through my mind, but yeah, I mean, when Indy went out, I knew that Matt was 57 out coming in, so he had to score max points, and all I had to do was start the race, which we took the green flag, so he was out. And then, when Indy retired his car and went 4 laps down, or he went 3 laps down and retired his car, that just meant all I had to do was exist. Had a lot of fun racing with Lilac at the front. She did a tremendous job, and I was really looking forward to fighting at the end. Came down pit road, and I kind of probably jinxed it. I told Matt in the chat, I said, "Man," I said, I was close coming in, and I left the box, and I had the limiter on, and it went to 61, and then dropped me back to 60 and threw the black flag.
Oh.
And I was like, golly. The bad part was I was so close to the end of pit road that I only got to 61, like maybe 50 feet from the end of pit road. So that was pretty frustrating. In the future, you can't, it's just like anything else. You can't rely on the software. So, you're just gonna have to be vigilant and make sure you don't go over the number. But all in all, it was a fun race. It was a fun day, and thanks to Eric Peterson and his admin team. I got a chance to spend some time with Eric at the Indianapolis 500, the real life version this year, right? He's a cool dude, and thanks to him and his admin team for putting this on. It's kind of shocking to hear my name next to Nick DeGroot, Craig Forsyth. Those are two luminaries in this community. So anytime you can have your name next to theirs, that's pretty cool. And thanks to everybody at Indy Alliance Racing, the Global Alliance, Admin Box, Black Magic Studios, P1 Broadcasting. I thank you, Gary. I know you were flying solo tonight because Andrew's traveling. Got to thank Mark Cohn and LC Motorsports. It's awesome to put another title in their case, and this is fun, man. This car is so much fun because I was kind of talking with one of my oldest son's friends' dads at a birthday party today, and he was asking me about this, and I said, the current car with the hybrid and all the tools and the quick jackers and whatever, you almost have to. It's almost like flying a spaceship, and it's so refreshing to come run this car because it's still an Indy car, but you don't have to worry about tools. You don't have to worry about fuel maps. You don't have to worry about hybrids. You just get in the thing and you got your right foot in the steering wheel and you go for it. And it's 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 pretty refreshing to be able to do that. So thanks again to Eric and his admin team for putting this on. It was a good time.
Looking back at the season, unlike last season where you did exactly what two other drivers in the 100-plus year of IndyCar history ever have done, and that's win the national championship or win the championship without a single win. Only two drivers have done that. That was Tony Bettenhausen Sr. in 1958, and then Tom Sneva in 1978. No wins. And you did it. You did no wins. You just based upon a model of consistency. This year, you started off hot. With that first win, setting the tone at Auto Club way back in January, and you're able to ride that into consistency through 6 months, literally, to get the championship here today. I think what makes this one a little bit difficult also is the fact that the races are so strung out here in Dark Horse because it's not every week, so you're not like in the zone every week. You have to kind of bring your self into the zone and get yourself ready to go. Maybe it's been 3 or 4 weeks since we got into these cars last, so you might have to get that feel again and do some practice. But at least you got to win this season. First of all, does it feel better that you got to win this season? And second of all, how does this championship rank versus the championship you had from last season?
I mean, the best one is always the last one, right? There's not anytime you win a trophy, that's that feeling in that moment is the best one. It's it's to me it's pretty incredible. I mean, some of these guys have been racing this car for it's the DW12. Some of these guys have been racing this car for 14, 15 years. And when I came into the sim, the IR18 had already been the car. So, there's guys, that have been doing this, like, Hunter Smith's been in the sim since before this car, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot of guys that have a lot more experience with it. Anytime you can call yourself a champion and you're racing against guys like that, it's just special. I probably, I'll go with Mears on this one. Like, you probably don't understand the first one. You don't understand you don't understand how special it is, but then, the second one, you kind of understand it more. This one, you talked about winning the one race. I mean, you got to remember, had a big lead at Charlotte in the second race and got right hooked, sat on a pole, leading the race, running away with it, and got right hooked from behind. We had our chances at other places. There were some other things that happened that took us out of contention for a win. And some of those things were not our doing. And, you just keep doing the best you can on a given day. Like today, the best I could do was 13th. So you bring it home 13th. If you're putting yourself in position to be at the front at the end and it's not there, it pays a lot more points to finish third or fourth or fifth than it does to be backwards in the fence. So, take what you get and go on down the road and, let the other guys beat themselves. Just keep finishing up front. And, I'd have loved to have that Charlotte race back. That was 10 tons of fun. I would love to have had Iowa back. Those were two that we probably should have won. But there were several like that we were there, just it didn't work out. So,
well, and not only on that today with the issue on pit road, I guess we're learning that you had to overcome a little bit of adversity. At one point, I guess one of your monitors went out, or your only monitor went out, so you had to go to the back of the pack. And at that point, we kind of thought that you were just like, well, you saw Indy was out, so you were just going to go back and take it easy. That really wasn't the case.
I'll tell you what happened. When he went out, I knew it was pretty much over. and I saw he had retired, and I had been out at a birthday party for one of AJ's friends all day, and I really had to use the bathroom. So Indianapolis, thankfully, is a track where you can jump up and use the facilities and run back. You've got a couple of minutes under caution, and so I ran off, used the bathroom, came back, and when I came back in, I kind of brushed my monitor a little bit and it shut off.
Oh.
And so I used to race with one. I mean, the bulk of my time in iRacing at the beginning was on one monitor. So I'm familiar with that. Like I don't have to have the wings. Um, and I was going around under caution and it wasn't on. And I was like, well, it's okay if it doesn't come back on, but I'm like feeling under the thing, hitting the buttons and hitting the emergency restart button. As it turned out, um, all I really needed to do was hit the power button on the front. And so I hit the power button and it came back on. But no, I mean it was okay. I mean that wasn't why we finished where we finished. But it was an interesting thing. It's kind of thinking, well, I'm gonna have to go back and do this old school, right?
Well, and then let's talk about coming back. I guess what's next? Do we go for a three-peat? I'm assuming I know the answer to that.
I mean, I love racing this car and I love racing this league. And if anybody's out there watching, that is in the community that wants a fun place to race on a Sunday night and there's not a lot of pressure and it's good people and it's a really good admin team that does a great job. I mean, Dark Horse is a fabulous league to race in. Shane Coker runs a great show on Sunday night over on his side as well, and we did pretty good there too. So, I think I'll as long as I'm not broadcasting somewhere, and I'm sure you've got people that would like to have us, but in all seriousness, I mean, Sunday's my night to play, and as long as Eric and his team will have me, I'm happy to be here.
Well, you know how this goes. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone to say hi to. Back-to-back championships, one win this season, but I mean, it just I probably that one win made things a little bit easier versus no wins from last season. Congratulations, man! Just go ahead. You got the mic. Shout them out.
Yeah, I mean, again, David Dunwoody and Black Magic Studios. I couldn't have asked for a better sponsor than David. He's been so tremendous. If you need a paint, look him up. Admin box, Fish, again, tremendous guy. His support is fabulous, not just on this side, but also with equipment and technical know-how, and his custom button boxes for adminning a race are just if you're somebody out there that admins, you need to go get one. He's not only that, but you can pick up the phone and call a guy and he'll answer it and troubleshoot with you. He's just a tremendous man. We'll see him again in September, and I look forward to that at the Sim Gaming Expo. I got to thank you, Gary, at P1 for letting me talk.
Oh, you love doing that.
3 or 4 nights a week. It's a ton of fun. Jacob Collins, Andrew Wood, Caleb Brashear, the guys that broadcast with me, Ryan Eric King, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, everybody that sits in a booth with me. I get you gotta mention them because they're awesome people too, and we. I got to thank the wonderful Miss Natalie for letting me do this. Right,
Probably the smartest person you've thanked. Yeah.
She lets me do this, and I try to do most of it when the kids are asleep and stuff like that. But it's I know it's hard sometimes because I'm in the rig and she's in bed, or she's trying to put the kids to bed, or she's running around trying to do stuff, and she'd like to have me, as useless as I am most of the time, around, and I'm sitting in the thing playing what at the end of the day is a game. And it's it's awesome to have a spouse that supports you, and I know you got one of those too. And it's amazing that I'm always amazed at her level of patience. She did come in at the end after it was over, and she goes, she did come in at the end after it was over and asked me if you won a trophy, and I just kind of smiled, and she she said, "All right, well, I guess we'll have to clear out more room on the mantle." So that's fun because I got them all. The ones I don't get to wear are all on the mantle, so I appreciate that, and you know, it's just a ton of fun. Thank everybody in the league, and again, Eric and all the admins for putting this on. This is my playtime, and I enjoy the heck out of it, and I can't thank them enough for letting me come play. They don't have to do this.
All right, two-time back-to-back, and now once again defending and reigning and defending. There we go. Champion of the Dark Horse Racing Series, the DW12 Championship. Once again, Mark Murphy joining the ranks of Greg Forsyth and noted motorsports journalist Nick DeGroot as two-time champions here of this league. We will see you Monday nights when Season 3 of 2026 kicks off in the Indy Open Series at 8 p.m. here on the channel. But until then, go celebrate another well-earned championship here in the DW12s.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Thank you so much for everything you do for the community. One more. I got to thank everybody who turned out, tuned in for the P1600 yesterday. People are still buzzing about that race 30 hours later. They're still talking about it. So I got to thank everybody for that too. That was a fun one. We'll be back and do that again next year. There will be a third annual, and I'm already thinking of a way to make to give the next one another twist. So
I think I know what you're talking about. All right, Mark. Congratulations, man. We'll see you Monday night.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Yeah. Before we go, one of the things I don't do very well, and I do a lot of things not very well doing production, is I do want to go back and show you the finish again. And show you just how close it was, if I can find that. Here we go. We'll rewatch this kind of to the end here. White flag out. One of the things I don't do is, we need to highlight this. I mean, again, it goes back to listening to Will Buxton talk about the finish in Indianapolis 500 and how he just doesn't call close finishes very often, and how hard it was. And I just want to tell Will, we do this all the time, baby. You name it. Thousandths of the second is kind of the margin of victory that we seem to call lately on some of these races. So I want to show everybody just really how close this was. And just kind of give you an idea of what it was at the line. If I can get some better camera angles. Okay, let's do this first. There we go. And let's go back. Here we go. Not quite good enough. That's good. That's close enough. So what we'll do is we'll clear this, and then all of a sudden it clears itself up. And if hopefully we go to the blimp, there you go. That should be. I don't think I have anything ground level. That's about the closest right there. I wish someone makes cams. Love something at the line. I love something directly at the line. I don't think I have anything better than that. Speed shot, nope. 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 Okay, so let's do this. I think that's the closest one right there. That's kind of that's even closer. Okay, and now we'll go blimp one, and that's about what we're looking at. Not too far off from really how they finished in real world, to be honest with you. Except positions were swapped. It was Rosenquist on the outside, I think, and Little Dave on the inside. This time Lilac on the inside. Much akin to Sam Hornish when he beat out Marco 2006. That's 20 years. Anyways, but there you go. I just want to give everyone an idea of the close finish. Let's get on out of here. Give everyone back their Sunday nights. So you can get on out of here and start your weeks off as well. And on the fly production. There we go. I will eventually change music at some point. Oh, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in and for this season. So that's it for today. Tonight for the season. Once again, your podium here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the ninth running of the Dark Horse Indianapolis 300. Well, you got Lilac Zier, 25th different winner in the Dark Horse Racing Series in their DW12 championship. 25th different winner over 10 seasons. Finishing second, is not Jeff Heisong. It's Chris Stouffer. Jeff Heisong finished fourth. Eric Peterson, admin, comes home in third for one of his best finishes of the year. That is your podium. And again, congratulations to our Season 9 champion, Mark Murphy, going back-to-back. Season 8 and 9 champion with only one win. One win in that 2-season stint. One win and 2 championships. He has more championships and got wins over the last 2 years, or 2 seasons. So, if you're at home thinking, man, I got to win every race in order to win the championship, no, you don't. You just got to finish, and finish consistently. Use your head, just like Mark. So once again, your Season 9 champion, of course, is Mark Murphy edging out. We have Andy Kirchenbauer, I believe, finishes second in the championship by 26 points, and Matt Wagner finishes in third. One of these days, Matty Wagner's going to get that championship. I know he is. Join Andrew and myself again Sunday, July 12th for opening day of Season 10 with a Dark Horse Racing Series in their DW12 championship presented by 4D Racewear. Heads back to and returns to Kansas to start off the season. Start time is 8 p.m. Eastern time. Find out one way or another in a week from now who's going to go win another championship. Is it going to be Mark? Can he go back to back to back? Can he do the old three-peat? Is it going to be someone new? Is it someone old? We'll find out. One way or another, we're going to find out starting about a month from now. Remember, correct broadcast time in your area. You can find everything right here at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including our Tuesday night open wheel doubleheader starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time with the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series top split at Atlanta. So we're going to the old Atlanta, followed by iRacing Indy Next Oval Series top split when they go to Iowa at 9:30. So if you like open wheel oval racing, it's a good shot you do. If you're watching this tonight, then don't miss the action this Tuesday night right here on P1. Tonight's 9th running of the Dark Horse Indy 300. And the Dark Horse Racing Series is presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out 4D's made-for sim racing line of made-for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. And don't forget, they now offer race awards and custom championship rings for your league. Wouldn't you like to have your own Indy 500 to give your own winner a ring? That'd be so cool. You go to 4D Racewear, they hook you up. So go to 4dracewear.com or click on the link of the day to learn in today's description to learn more. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of every racing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can also follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about what we do here on P1, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree. You can check those out in the description as well. So for Andrew Wood, who's out on the road visiting his dad for Father's Day, what a good son. Everyone else here at Dark Horse and 4D Racewear, I'm Gary Gosso saying, hey everybody, thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Once again, congratulations to our Season 9 champion, Mark Murphy, going back-to-back. Gets us again right here in July 12th, or on July 12th, when we go to Kansas for the next race of the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by 4D Racewear right here on P1. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching this season.